Theron was born in Benoni, in Transvaal Province, Gauteng Province since 1994, of South Africa on August 7, 1975. She is the only child of road constructionist Gerda, née Maritz, and Charles Theron, November 27, 1947 to June 21, 1991. The second Boer War military leader Danny Theron was her great-granduncle. She is from an Afrikaner family, and her ancestry includes Dutch as well as French and German. Her French forebears were early Huguenots in South Africa. She grew up on her parents' farm in Benoni, near Johannesburg. On June 21, 1991, Theron's father, an alcoholic, threatened both Charlize and her mother while drunk, physically attacking her mother and firing a gun at both of them. Theron's mother retrieved her own handgun, shot back, and killed him. The shooting was legally adjudged to have been self-defense, and her mother faced no charges. Theron attended Puntfontein Primary School, Laerskool Puntfontein, a period during which she is said she was not fitting in. She was frequently unwell with jaundice throughout childhood, and the antibiotics she was administered made her upper incisor milk teeth rot. They had to be surgically removed. Theron's permanent teeth did not grow until she was roughly 10 years old. At 13, Theron was sent to boarding school and began her studies at the National School of the Arts in Johannesburg. About her early life in her home country, Theron has said, "I grew up as an only child in South Africa, and there was turmoil in my family, but the surroundings were so great. I was usually barefoot in the dirt. No Game Boys, no computers, and we had sanctions, so there were no concerts. This meant you had to entertain yourself." Although Theron is fluent in English, her first language is Afrikaans. Although she saw herself as a dancer, Theron won a one-year modeling contract at age 16 at a local competition in Salerno, Italy, and moved with her mother to Milan, Italy. After Theron spent a year modeling throughout Europe, she and her mother moved to the United States. They resided in New York City and Miami. In New York, she attended the Joffrey Ballet School, where she trained as a ballet dancer until a knee injury closed this career path. As Theron recalled in 2008, "I went to New York for 3 days to model, and then I spent a winter in New York in a friend's windowless basement apartment. I was broke. I was taking class at the Joffrey Ballet, and my knees gave out. I realized I couldn't dance anymore, and I went into a major depression. My mom came over from South Africa and said, 'Either you figure out what to do next or you come home, because you can sulk in South Africa.'" In 1994, Theron flew to Los Angeles on a one-way ticket her mother bought for her. She intended to work in the film industry. During her initial months there, she lived in a motel with the $300 budget that her mother had given her. She continued receiving checks from New York and lived from paycheck to paycheck. Theron stole bread from a basket in a restaurant to survive. One day, she went to a Hollywood Boulevard bank to cash a few checks, including one her mother had sent to help with the rent. However, the check from her mother was rejected because it was out of state and she was not an American citizen. Theron argued and pleaded with the bank teller until talent agent John Crosby, who was the next customer behind her, cashed it for her and gave her his business card. Crosby introduced Theron to an acting school. In 1995, she played her first non-speaking film role in the horror film Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest. In Theron's first speaking role, she portrayed hit woman Helga Svelgen in 2 Days in the Valley, 1996. Despite the film's mixed reviews, Theron drew attention due to her beauty and to a scene in which she fought Terry Hatcher's character. Theron feared being typecast as characters similar to Helga and recalled being asked to repeat her performance in the film during auditions. "A lot of people were saying, 'You should just hit while the iron's hot.' But playing the same part over and over doesn't leave you with any longevity. And I knew it was going to be harder for me, because of what I look like, to branch out to different kinds of roles." When auditioning for Showgirls, Theron was introduced to talent agent J.J. Harris by co-casting director Johanna Ray. She recalled being surprised at how much faith Harris had in her potential. Theron has referred to Harris as her mentor. Harris found scripts and films for Theron in a variety of genres and encouraged her to become a producer. She served as Theron's agent for over 15 years. In 2007, Theron became a naturalized citizen of the United States while retaining her South African citizenship. Theron has adopted 2 children, a daughter in March 2012 and another daughter in July 2015. She has been interested in adoption since childhood, when she became aware of orphanages and the overflowing numbers of children in them. In April 2019, Theron revealed that Jackson, then 7 years old, is a transgender girl. She said of her daughters, "They were born who they are, and exactly where in the world both of them get to find themselves as they grow up, and who they want to be, is not for me to decide." She is inspired by actresses Susan Sarandon and Sigourney Weaver. She has described her admiration for Tom Hanks as a love affair and watched many of his films throughout her youth. Hollywood actors were not featured in magazines in South Africa, so she did not know how famous he was until she moved to the United States, which has been inferred as a factor of her down-to-earth attitude to fame. After filming For That Thing You Do finished, Theron got Hank's autograph on her script. She later presented him his Cecil B. DeMille Award in 2020, in which Hanks revealed that he had a mutual admiration for Theron's career since the day he met her. Theron said in 2018 that she went to therapy in her 30s because of anger, discovering that it was due to her frustration growing up during South Africa's apartheid, which ended when she was 15. In 2019, Theron spoke about her method of working on roles. "Creating a physical identity together with the emotional part of the character," she said, "is a great tool set that adds on to everything else you are already doing as an actor. It's a case-by-case thing. But there is, to me, this beautiful thing that happens when you can get both sides, the exterior and interior. It's a really powerful dynamic. When preparing for a role, I almost treat it like studying. I will find space where I am alone, where I can be focused, where there's nobody in my house, and I can really just sit down and study and play and look at my face and hear my voice and walk around and be a fucking idiot, and my dogs are the only ones who are seeing that." Theron is a longtime fan of the English band Depeche Mode and was the presenter for their Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction in 2020. Theron's first public relationship was with actor Craig Bierko, whom she dated from 1995 to 1997. Theron was in a 3-year relationship with singer Stephen Jenkins until October 2001. Some of Third Eye Blind's third album, Out of the Vein, explores the emotions Jenkins experienced as a result of their breakup. Theron began a relationship with Irish actor Stuart Townsend in 2001 after meeting him on the set of Trapped. The couple lived together in Los Angeles and Ireland. The couple split up in late 2009. In December 2013, Theron began dating American actor Sean Penn. The relationship ended in June 2015.